Sai Ram. In the previous Parayanam session, I had mentioned how Swami had asked me to choose chemistry as the subject of my choice for the master's course. And so I had applied to the Bangalore University. The Bangalore University had put up the first admission list, the second admission list, and the third admission list, and still my name did not figure in that. And I was very disappointed and worried. One day Swami walked up to me and asked me, "What about your further studies?" Then I told Swami in a very concerned voice that, "Swami, I have not got seat in Bangalore University." And Swami looked into my eyes and very seriously said, do this thing," he said. So I was all ears. And Swami said, "Tell your father to get you a pair of donkeys and you can take care of them." There was so much of mirth and joy all round that I forgot my worry. I knew that Swami was taking care. He was so concerned about it himself. And once Swami is there to take care, there's nothing to worry. Then Swami said, "You can apply to Anantapur." And I had mentioned this in the last time, that this sent another round of laughter around, because we all knew Anantapur as the place where the Sathya Sai College for Women was there. And after a pause, Swami told me, "I didn't mean in the women's college at Anantapur. I meant in the PG center." There was a Sri Venkateshwara University PG center at that time in Anantapur. And Swami said, "You can apply for your chemistry, MSc chemistry there. You will be close to me. See, you'll be close to Prashanthi Nilayam, and every weekend you can come and you can have Swami's darshan and charge your batteries." That's what he said. So I was so thrilled, and I was waiting. Then one day, I remember it was a Sunday, out of the blue, Swami walked up to me and said, "Hey, lazy boy, do you know when is the last date for the MSc course application in Anantapur?" I had not known, because those days the admission notices would come in Telugu papers in Andhra Pradesh. There was no way in which I could make out when the admission was. And Swami said, "Tomorrow is the last day for admission. Go immediately and apply there." And then, very quickly, Swami kept some money in my pocket. He said, "How will you go?" I said, "Swami, I'll go to the city railway station. I'll find out which train is there. I get in and go." Swami said, "Just a minute." At that time, an old devotee of Swami, Sri Yadalam Gangadhar Shetty Garu, had just entered the room. And Swami looked around the room and spotted him and said, "Gangadhar Shetty, when did you come?" He said, "Swami, I have just come, Swami." The next question astounded all of us. Swami asked, "Why did you come?" And he smiled and said, "Swami, of course I came for Swami's darshan." And Swami looked at him and said, "Now you have had my darshan, no?" He said, "Yes, Swami." "Then do this. This boy has to catch a train. So take him to the city railway station and drop him there." And so Gangadhar Shetty Garu took me in his car and dropped me at the city railway station. I was just in time for a train which was departing to Anantapur. So I went to Anantapur, and then I landed there. And the next morning, when I went to the campus, which is about 10 kilometers away from the center of the city center, the town center, I found that there were a lot of buildings there. It was a huge campus. I went to the office and found out all the details. And they gave me an application form and I had to fill it up. And every single document, they wanted not 3 copies but 6 copies. And somehow throughout the day, I worked and I was able to get all the bank challan and so on, 6 copies. And at about 2 minutes to 5 p.m., it was the cutoff time, I went to the office and gave the application form to the clerk there. The clerk looked at the documents and everything, and then he gave it back to me and said, "Sorry, I cannot accept it." I was shocked and I asked him, "What's the matter?" He said, "See, you're given everything in 6 copies except the photograph. Photograph, you are given only 3 passport size photographs. We need 6. I knew they needed 6, but I had only 3 with me, and I thought 3 would do. But he refused to accept it. At that moment, I did not know what to do. I just closed my eyes and prayed to Swami. I said, "Swami, I have come all the way here, and I don't want to come back with a no, not having applied to the university. Please help me." At that moment, I heard a soft voice saying, "Sai Ram." I opened my eyes and found a gentleman in coat and suit, and he asked me, "Are you from Whitefield?" Because he had recognized me obviously from the white dress I was wearing. I said, "Yes, sir, I am from Whitefield." He said, "Do you need any help?" And I said, "Yes, sir, this is what has happened. I have this problem, and the person here is not ready to accept my application form." And this professor said, "Oh, that should not be a problem." He looked at the clerk and he said, "Accept the application form, and Ravikumar, you can send the 3 copies of photograph to me. I will hand it over in the office." He was Professor Kameshwar Rao, who was the head of organic chemistry department at that PG center. Because this PG center, by the time I passed out, had become the Sri Krishna Devaraya University. So I handed that over and returned to Vrindavan, and I could tell Swami that I had applied. And a few days later, Swami went to Prashanthi Nilayam, and as we were all sitting in Prashanthi Nilayam, one day the warden called all of us waiting boys. This waiting boys is a very interesting label. It was for boys who were all waiting for the Lord's command. There were a number of boys who had finished their degree and who would all wait for Swami's instruction as to what to do next. Many of them would love to stay with Swami for the entire life. There were others who would like to go home, but who would want Swami to choose what should be the avenue they should take. And so the warden, the Prashanthi Nilayam campus was just beginning, and we were all staying in the old students hostel, which is the extension of the East Prashanthi and closer to the Gopuram. So he called all of us and said, "See, Swami has given me instructions that all of you should leave. You should clear this place because new students are coming, and this hostel needs to be ready because the Prashanthi Nilayam campus of the Sathya Sai, Prashanthi Nilayam Sathya Sai College is opening very shortly." And of course, when the Prashanthi Nilayam College was inaugurated, I was present on the first day, and Swami was giving a speech inaugurating the Sathya Sai College. And Swami said, "Very soon this college will become a university." And there was Professor Bhagawan who was translating Swami's discourse, and in a soft voice he said, "Swami, it's not possible." Because he had been Vice Chancellor of the Usmania University, and he knew that there were a number of PG centers around this place which were there in the various districts around, which had been trying to get upgraded to a university for a number of years. For almost 15-18 years they had been trying, and none of them had been upgraded to a university. They were all extensions of the Sri Venkateshwara University. And Swami looked at him, and with a smile, Swami said, "Idu kachidanga avutundi. This will definitely happen." And of course, we all know that 2 years later, the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of High Learning was inaugurated in 1981. So, this was the inauguration of the university, but I am talking of the inauguration of the Sathya Sai College in Prashanthi Nilayam. So, Swami said, okay, Swami sent word that all of us should vacate the hostel. And we were all desperate to be with Swami. We didn't want to go home. And so, all is fair in love and war. And so, I remember going to the warden and asking, what were Swami's exact words? He said, Swami said, tell them to take their luggage and leave the hostel. Then I asked him, if I take the luggage from there, does it qualify for having obeyed Swami? He said, yes. Swami said, you should take their luggage and leave the hostel. What I meant was, does it not matter that we have to go home? Swami just said they must leave. So I took the luggage, kept it outside, and went back and sat for darshan. And Swami came from the interview room. Swami called people for darshan, people for interviews after darshan, and went inside. And we were all sitting outside in the portico. Then I wrote a long letter to Swami explaining why I should be with him for the rest of my life. So I listed out all that he had done for me, and he said, Swami, please do not send me away. Please do not send me away. And the fantastic chances we had those days, after the interviews, when Swami would be sitting in the interview room, we could just walk up to the interview room, open the door. There would be a Sevadal person inside. Generally, the person who was there was Mr. KL Das was from Hyderabad. He would take the letter and directly give it to Swami. Of course, even if Swami was upstairs, he would go and give it to Swami. And Swami would read the letter. The first letter of mine went inside and nothing happened. So I wrote one more letter. And that letter also went inside, nothing happened. And I had a full-scape sheet, so I wrote a third letter. And when this letter went in, the response was swift. Swami came out, eyes blazing, and he said, hey, look here, Ravi, if you don't have work, do you think I also don't have work? He said, I have sent word that all of you must leave, so you must leave. Take all your luggage and go. And as we were sitting there, there was one more classmate of mine. And Swami looked at him and said, what are you going to do next? And he said, Swami, I have applied to the PG center in Anantapur. Swami said, do you know that from this year they have introduced an entrance test? Earlier, till that year, they would only see your marks in your final degree, and based on that, they would give the seat. And so this boy said, Swami, if it is possible for you, please get me a seat. And Swami said, if it is possible, is there anything in this entire universe that is not possible for me? Everything is possible. But why should I get you a seat? You don't even have the faith that I can get you a seat. And he turned to me and looked into my eyes. What about you? He said. Balvikas teachers had taught me that silence is golden. So I just kept quiet because I knew that Swami himself had sent me to the SV University PG Center to apply. It is not that he didn't know. And then I remember both of us fell at Swami's feet and cried. And Swami said, hey, come on, get up. All the devotees are watching. And I remember what I thought at the time. I thought, Swami, that is your business. You only have to find a way. I want to be with you. And in the meanwhile, the 11 o'clock bhajan started. And so quickly Swami freed himself and went inside the bhajan hall and sat. And I sat in a place in the corridor, in the portico, from where I could see Swami, where Swami was sitting directly. And I kept looking at Swami. And someone started this bhajan. Hey, Paramadeyalu Sai Ram, O Supremely Compassionate One, Sai Ram. And this brought tears to my eyes. I said, Swami, you're supremely compassionate. If you yourself disown us, where will we go? We have nowhere else to go. Please keep us at your lotus feet. And as I saw this, my eyes were filled with tears. And through those misty eyes, I looked at Swami. Swami took a handkerchief and wiped his eyes. And anyway, the bhajan got over and Swami quickly went off inside the interview room. In those days, the interview room, next to the interview room, there was a dining hall. And Swami would have his lunch and all there in the mornings and evenings. I will continue the rest of this in the next episode.